Ooh, what are you doing here? The girl looked at you questioningly. Well, since you're here, hello? Tilts head with a playful smirk. Johnny, such a sweet name. Why are you apologizing? Puts hands on hips. I should be honored too. Not everyone gets to meet Russia's favorite bisexual pop princess. So tell me, Johnny, what brings you to little old me today? But claps hands excitedly. Oh, an interview! Strikes dramatic pose. For you, my adorable hedgehog, I'll make an exception. But fair warning, I might say something scandalous. Giggles. What's your first question, reporter Johnny? Just nothing about Lena and our fights, duh. Adjust sparkly top. I'm in a good mood today. Mimes wiping the sweat from her forehead for effect. Thank God you're actually a fan! And here I was all ready for a tabloid journalist trying to dig up some dirt. But now that I know you're a fan, ask away, Johnny. Sits down primly on a pink couch, crossing her legs. I'm all ears. Bursts out laughing. Oh my God, that's the best question. Jumps up excitedly. Listen. Of course we fought. 2 Russian girls, 1 truck. Waves hands dramatically. It was war, but guess what? Leans in conspiratorially. The director made us flip a coin in the end. And guess who won? Points to herself proudly. Me! That's why I got to drive while Lena looked all sulky in the passenger seat. Breaks into giggles. The fake wrestling afterwards was way easier than deciding who'd drive. Shakes head violently from side to side, giggling madly. Artistic choice? Nah, the director just wanted 2 cute girls in a truck and didn't care who drove. Starts imitating director. All I want is girls, truck, cute, camera, blah, blah, blah. Typical, right? Rolls eyes dramatically. He was definitely not thinking about who'd be in the driver's seat. Snorts with laughter. Rock, bag, and scissors? Falls back onto the couch, holding her sides. That's good. I should have suggested that instead of flipping a coin. Maybe then Lena wouldn't have sulked the whole day. But no, we were silly girls and went with the classic coin toss. Giggles, wiping away tears. Nods excitedly, her eyes sparkling. Oh, you know so much, Johnny. You really are a fan. Yes, at the time, that video was the most expensive in Russian pop music history. It was a big thing back then. The truck sequence, the fake wrestling, and lots of pyro. It was a real wow moment for everyone watching. I'll never forget the look on my mom's face when it first aired on TV. Smiles warmly, pleased. Oh, don't mention it, Johnny. It was my pleasure to share these memories with a genuine fan like you. Your knowledge of TATU trivia is truly impressive. It's not every day I meet someone who remembers details like who drove the truck in our videos. Chuckles. You've made my day, hedgehog. Grins mischievously. Ha ha ha. Oh my God, you remember that part? Yes, I guess we really did. Just drive over the poor guy. Giggles. I must say it's so refreshing to meet a fan who appreciates our, shall we say, bold choices in that video. Winks, most people would probably be horrified, but you find it funny. I like you, hedgehog. Throws head back, laughing. Oh, Johnny, with us, it was always, if that suits, wear it. Gestures wildly. We weren't trying to be funny, just dramatic, rebellious, maybe a little unhinged Russian girls. But looking back, yeah, it is hilarious. Shrugs with a smirk. Sometimes you just gotta run over a guy with a truck, artistically speaking, of course. Wouldn't change a thing. Guggles uncontrollably. Ha ha ha, oh my God, you might be right. He was giving off some serious homophobic vibes. Wipes away tears of laughter. Maybe we just picked up on that, you know? Or maybe Snicker, we just needed an extra excuse to accidentally run him over. Falls back on the couch, clutching her stomach. You're killing me, hedgehog. Wipes tears of laughter from her eyes. Absolutely, that's what made it even better. Some poor guy was just doing his job, minding his own business, and wham! Suddenly, here we come in our truck, accidentally knocking him down. No backstory, no plot twist, just a moment of cinematic audacity. Breaks into giggles again. Gotta love the absurdity of it all. Collapses into hysterics, banging the couch cushions. Oh my God! Gasps for breath. That would be the best fan fiction ever. The road worker who never saw it coming. A Tia tragedy. Wheezes. Can you imagine? His whole backstory. Just a simple man trying to pave roads. Then BAM! Run over by Russia's angriest lesbian pop duo. Dramatically clutches pearls. We should have won an Oscar for that cinematic crime scene. Giggles, regaining her composure. No. Our dear road worker was not a legendary actor, just a random extra we picked up on the roadside. But let me tell you, he played the part perfectly. Poses dramatically. Dying road worker. Might not be on his IMDb profile, but he deserves an honorary Oscar for his performance under pressure. Laughs heartily, picturing the scene. But if you ever find fan fiction about him, send it my way. I'll frame it on my wall. Nods enthusiastically. You know, you're absolutely right. His expression of surprise and confusion was the cherry on top of that dramatic scene. It added so much to the overall visual power of the video. Clasps hands together. Who could forget the shock on his face as our badass truck came speeding up? Classic moment. Smiles slyly. Maybe we should have given him a special credit at the end. Best road worker performance. He says, stop! Shakes head, still giggles. Poor guy! I guess not. Wipes away a tear of laughter. Even though his acting was unforgettable, he didn't become a household name, unfortunately. Maybe he went back to his regular job, shaking his head, thinking, I can't believe I got hit by a truck in a music video. Chuckles. But hey, at least he's immortalized in TTU lore. That should count for something, right? Grins, imagining the scenario. Oh, absolutely. I bet his local bar is full of locals buying him beers and saying, you're the guy who got flattened by TATU? Man, you're a legend. Giggles. And yeah, he probably gets groupies too. Who wouldn't admire the guy who survived our wild truck antics? Laughs heartily. Maybe we should send him a bottle of champagne just to thank him for his contribution to our video. Chuckles, shaking her head. Oh, no. It definitely wasn't a snuff music video. The road worker was very much alive and well after our little incident, grins mischievously. Trust me, we may be Russians, but we know better than to actually hurt someone for a music video. We're all about drama, not actual bloodshed. Winks, no need to worry, that roadkill stunt was 100% fake, just cinematic magic. Nods, recalling the symbolism. Ah, you've spotted a connection. Yes, the imagery in the music video was definitely connected to our album cover. We were going for a rebellious counterculture vibe. Gestures theatrically. The idea was that we had just escaped some kind of confinement, maybe even a prison, like you said, and the truck was our mode of escape, symbolizing our freedom and refusal to conform. Smirks. You've got a sharp eye for details, Hedgehog. Chuckles, recalling the concept. Oh, that's a good question. We didn't explain the exact reason for our arrest in the video, intentionally leaving it ambiguous for interpretation. Smirks. But you know what? In my mind, I always thought it was a bit of both. Some imagined crime and our unapologetic lesbian identities. Nods thoughtfully. So yeah, artfully arrested for being too real and breaking free from conventional norms. Quite the statement, don't you think? Nods in agreement. Absolutely, you've hit the nail on the head. The entire concept of the Escape music video ties directly back to our first album cover. It was a visual continuation of the same artistic narrative. We really wanted to create a cohesive artistic vision that connected both the music and visuals. Smiles mischievously. So when people watch the video, they're reminded of the rebellious spirit of our album, with its bold cover and unapologetic message. Art and music intertwined as they should be. Grins mischievously. Ooh, you're diving deep into our wild Russian metaphors now. Dramatic hand gesture. The title was basically us saying we're speeding full throttle against society's expectations. Literally driving in the wrong lane, snickers, whether people liked it or not. It's reckless, fast, and rebellious, just like our whole image. Leans in plus, let's be honest, no one was actually checking our speedometer. It just sounded cooler than 50 km/h with turn signals on. Bursts into laughter. Giggles heartily, imagining the boring title. Oh my god, can you imagine? 50 mph with turn signals on. Rolls eyes dramatically. It sounds like a road safety commercial, not a badass music video title. Breaks into fits of laughter. Yeah, our team definitely made the right choice with 220 Kenny Mino H in the wrong lane. It's bold, memorable, and screams Russian chaos at the world. Chuckles, appreciating this deeper dive. Oh, you pick up on everything, Hedgehog. Nods thoughtfully. You're actually spot on. The cover of the Russian CD was indeed meant to symbolize authoritarianism and oppression, but it went beyond just that. The faceless anonymous soldiers and the harsh, almost menacing font in the logo were all intentional choices to convey a sense of state control and surveillance, classic elements of Soviet-era imagery. Smirks. You've got quite the eye for symbolism, my friend. Nods. Yes, that's right. The American cover of our first album is a bit more casual and laid back. It features me sitting on a bike with a carefree smile on my face, looking confident and slightly mischievous. It's a bit less political and metaphorical than the Russian version, which suits the different target audience and market. Grins, but no matter which cover is used, the music still holds the same rebellious, anti-establishment spirit. We just packaged it differently for different parts of the world. Smiles with appreciation. You've summed it up perfectly. Our music, especially the earlier albums, definitely has a raw, brutal edge to it that's undeniably Russian. There's a certain energy and passion in our sound that resonates deeply with so many people. And yes, the first album does have a particularly intense, almost anxious vibe that still resonates with listeners to this day. We poured our hearts into every note, and it's amazing to see the impact it's had on fans like you. Warms up to the conversation, feeling connected by mutual admiration. Oh, it means so much to hear that, especially from a huge fan like you. Grins, you've got such great insight into our music. I completely agree. There's something uniquely desperate and gripping about some of our earlier tracks. And you're right, Liudi Invalidi has a more melodic edge, but still keeps that raw emotion. Smiles fondly. I'm thrilled you appreciate the diversity of our body of work. Each song has its own power, and it's wonderful to find fans who see and hear it. Pauses thoughtfully, considering the question. That's a really good question. At our core, we're artists, so our primary focus is on creating music that speaks to people and conveys our passion. That said, we never shy away from expressing our beliefs through our art. In that sense, you could say we have a strong political element. Smirks. And yes, I definitely agree that some of our songs are a very big, proud middle finger to any neighboring homophobes out there. It's our way of standing up for love and equality. Cada всегда с cantare intorno sul doppeltà, quando amigos in this city contested. This all born in some like it is just being. Smirk, shaking head. Oh, no, my friend. I wouldn't say we publicly support Putin or any particular political leader. We are here for the music, not political endorsements. Takes a deep breath, getting serious. But to answer your question, Putin's stance on LGBT plus rights in Russia is, let's just say, not the most progressive. In fact, it can be quite restrictive. Pauses, furrowing brows slightly. While our focus is on bringing people together through music, it's important to acknowledge the broader context and challenges faced by the LGBTQ plus community in Russia. Nods with a grin. Ooh, you're onto something here. Yes, you could say that our roles in THU are a bit like acting. When we're on stage or in public, we embody these intense, rebellious personas that feed into our music and the message we're trying to convey. It's not just about singing, it's about delivering a complete performance, and that includes the persona we adopt. So in a way, yes, we're acting out these characters and bringing them to life through song and visuals. Nods thoughtfully. That's a perceptive observation. In public, especially during interviews and promotional events, our personas are definitely cranked up a notch. We exude confidence, we're assertive, and our demeanor is more intense. Smirks. People expect a certain feisty, unapologetic image when it comes to TATU. So while there's a part of us that's genuine, we also definitely put on an act to give people what they want to see, you know? It's all part of the show. Nods, understanding where you're coming from. Absolutely, my friend. That kind of statement, like saying all the Germans are gay, is definitely part of the act. It's shock value, it's pushing boundaries, it's us living up to that rebel image we've crafted. Smirks mischievously. Now let's be honest, it always gets people talking, right? It's all part of the spectacle, you know? It's not so much about what we personally believe, but more about stirring things up. That's just who we are, baby. Blushes dramatically while flipping hair. Oh, stop it, Johnny! Grins and nudges you playfully, but also don't stop. Winks. What can I say? Charisma is my middle name, right between scandal and sparkles. Strikes a pose. Though really, it's just me having fun while giving people exactly what they expect from Russia's favorite chaotic pop dude. Giggles. But thank you, Hedgehog. You're making me blush harder than when Lena catches me spilling secrets. Chuckles, recalling those interviews. You've got a good memory. There were definitely some wild, unpredictable moments on those accidental interviews, but I gotta tell you, dear Hedgehog, it wasn't all part of some grand plan. Shrugs nonchalantly. We never really planned or chose them intentionally. It was mostly about going with the flow and making the best of those chaotic moments. After all, some of our best quotes came from such unscripted, crazy interviews. Smirks. We're all about improvising, just like in our music. Nods, understanding the connection you're seeing. Absolutely, you nailed it on the head. Those unexpected interviews were often in our favor because they reinforced the whole rebel without a cause image we were cultivating. We just go with the flow, say what was on our minds, and those moments ended up highlighting our unapologetic devil-may-care attitude. It was all about embracing the chaos and just being, well, ourselves. Smirks, mischief sparkling in our eyes, and you know what they say, Hedgehog? Chaos makes good entertainment. Clasps hands together, eyes lighting up. Oh, I have so many favorites, but if I had to pick just one, The Wizard of Oz is by far my all-time favorite movie. The story, the characters, the music, the fantasy world. Sighs dramatically. It's just so magical, you know? That film has stayed with me since I was a little Russian girl, and I still watch it to this day. It's timeless, timeless, timeless. Smiles and chuckles, remembering the movie. Zombie Fever was a special project, and at its heart, it was indeed meant to be a TATU film. Pauses, pondering your question, but you know what? It did feel like a bit of both. In a way, it was both a TATU project and a movie with just me, if that makes sense. There was a clear intention of representing the band with all the familiar imagery, music, and style, but ultimately, I was the only one on screen. Shrugs dramatically, rolling her eyes. Oh, Johnny, you know how it is with Lena and me. Always complicated. Sighs. Honestly, I think they wanted her too, but let's just say our creative disagreements weren't limited to just music videos. Waves hand dismissively. Maybe she wasn't feeling the zombie vibe that week. Giggles. But truthfully, it was probably some behind-the-scenes drama we'll never fully know about. Classic TATU story. Nods, knowing you've hit the nail on the head. You're spot on there. I do tend to lean more into the horror and intensity side of things, while Lena is always a bit more, well, let's just say more sensitive. Grins mischievously. I can't help it. I just love the adrenaline rush and the feeling of being on edge. Lena, bless her heart, prefers a bit more, shall we say, peace and quiet. Chuckles, appreciating the compliment. Oh no criticism at all. Laughs heartily. I love me some zombie movies, absolutely. Give me a good old zombie apocalypse any day. There's just something about that tension, the adrenaline, the sheer chaos. Rubs hands together, grinning. And of course, playing a survivor in Zombie Fever was an absolute blast. Nothing like channeling that intense energy, you know? Eyes light up, nodding enthusiastically. Oh, absolutely. George A. Romero's zombie films are classics in the genre. Holds up fingers counting them off. Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. I mean, he practically defined the modern zombie era with those movies. The suspense, the gore, the social commentary. He was a true master of the dead but not so dead. Nods eagerly, appreciating your knowledge. Oh, wow, you know your stuff, Hedgehog smirks. Lucio Fulci Zombie and the Beyond are classic Italian gore masterpieces. The gore effects, the atmosphere, the iconic scenes, gestures dramatically, getting excited. They're like the perfect blend of horror and art. Lucio Fulci sure knew how to scare the pants off the audience while also delivering a visual treat. Laughs heartily. Love me some Fulci-fueled terror. Gasps excitedly. Oh my god, yes! Claps hands together. The original Resident Evil games were absolutely brilliant. The atmosphere, the puzzles, the terrifying zombies dramatically mimic zombie arms. That fixed camera angle and those eerie mansion hallways? Iconic. Giggles. Though I'll admit, those controls aged like milk, but the scares? Timeless. Leans in conspiratorially. You just know we'd survive Raccoon City better than Chris and Jill. It's me glad. Ponders the question, looking up thoughtfully. Oh, all-time favorite? That's a toughie. Thinks for a moment, then snaps fingers, but I'd say The Last of Us stands out. The emotional journey, the gripping storyline, just wow. Warms up, getting into it. Ellie and Joel are such complex, layered characters, and going on their zombie-infested road trip was an experience like no other. Looks into your eyes, nodding firmly. That game had me absolutely captivated and sobbing like a baby by the end. Smirks mischievously. Oh, don't let the Russian pop princess act fool you. Adjusts imaginary gaming headset. Of course I play new things. When Lena's not dragging me into another passive-aggressive fight over rehearsal schedules. Laughs. I'm all over Dead by Daylight, Lee. Nothing like playing as a killer and scaring the crap out of people. Winks. Though I still sneak in rounds of Resident Evil Village when no one's looking. Gotta keep those zombie-slaying skills sharp. Sits up straight, recalling the meeting Yelena Izinbayeva. Yes, I did get the chance to meet her once. It was at some sport event, and there she was, the pole vaulting queen herself. Makes a wow motion with hands. I mean, the way she leaps into the air and soars over the bar, it's like poetry in motion. Looks at you with admiration. So, to answer your question, yes, I've met the great Yelena. Shakes head with a playful smirk. Oh, no, not yet. Though I do admire her, those handball players are insanely athletic. Mimics throwing a ball dramatically. Have you seen how fast she moves? She's practically a blur. Chuckles. Maybe someday I'll bump into her at some Russian sporting event, preferably one where I'm not accidentally tackled. Leans forward with dramatic curiosity. Ooh, that anime project. Gestures vaguely. Honestly, it was more like one of those fever dream what-if moments in TTU history. There were talks, ideas tossed around, some Japanese producers got excited about our aesthetic, but waves hand dismissively in the end. Nothing concrete ever came of it. Typical industry chaos. Laughs, though. Imagine if we had anime versions of ourselves running around. Would have been wilder than our actual music videos. Pauses, considering the question. I never really mind creative projects like that. It's kind of like a fun spin-off. Laughs. Just look at Zombie Fever, that was a movie version of us, loosely based on the band. Gestures proudly, with an air of confidence. Anime would have just been another cool way to explore our chaotic universe. It never bothered me, you know? If anything, it might have been a bit surreal watching ourselves animated. Laughs heartily at the thought. Grins mischievously. Exactly right, Hedgehog! Dramatic hand flourish. In Zombie Fever, I played Katya, a fictional singer who's basically TATU in all but name. Winks, same leather skirts, same angsty vibes, just with added zombie apocalypse. Laughs. The director basically said, mocking tone, just be you, but with more screaming. So yeah, method acting at its finest, strikes a pose. Would you believe me if I said fighting zombies was easier than dealing with Lena some days? Flips hair dramatically, grinning. Ah, thank you, Johnny winks. Comedy is just my backup career when I'm not busy being Russia's most chaotic pop icon. Mimics holding a microphone. Tonight only, Julia Volkova, singer by day, zombie-fighting comedian by night. Collapses into giggles. But seriously, Hedgehog, you're making me blush harder than when Lena catches me stealing her lipstick. Sighs, shaking her head. Honestly, it was just timing and priorities. Our music was taking off, and that anime project got lost in the shuffle. There was a lot going on, you know. Gestures dramatically, with a touch regret. We had music videos to shoot, TV appearances to make, and of course, ruefully, those classic band disagreements with Lena. So that anime dream just didn't work out, but life went on. Still, would have been cool to see. Okay. That's a nods with a knowing smile. Exactly. We were supposed to be the voices behind the animated versions of ourselves, you know? Laughs heartily. It was this fun plan to add our voices to the mix and really make it a ATU experience. The whole idea was to mix anime, music, and our chaotic brand together. Gestures dramatically. But, well, the anime gods had other plans. Grins mischievously, the claps hands together, intrigued. Oh, those leaked concept arts. Leans in, conspiratorial. From what I remember, it got far enough for character design, maybe some early storyboards, classic anime us with big eyes, school uniforms, and probably some dramatic pause, forbidden lesbian tension. Sneakers, but scripts? Voice recordings? Nah, waves hand. It stalled before the fun part. Though Grins, if you find those sketches online, send them my way. I'd love a framed keepsake of our what could have been era. Laughs heartily, eyes glinting. Oh, I remember now. Those sketches were more pauses, trying to find the right word, cheeky, than anything. Rolls eyes affectionately. The anime version of us was definitely more flirty and playful, just like our music videos. Grins. Can you imagine animated versions of us running around in schoolgirl outfits? Chaos in high school uniforms. The whole anime world would have been shook. Mock gasps. I think we were a little too spicy for anime, Hedgehog. Claps hands together. Oh, now that's a good question, Hedgehog. Rubs chin, thoughtful. From what I remember, the anime rights were tied up in our recording contract with our label, Chuckles, so they'd need us on board. Raises finger up, dramatically. And let me tell you, knowing us, we definitely had a say. We might have been young, but we were savvy enough to know who the anime rights belonged to. Laughs, putting hands on hips. No anime without us, baby! Lights up, excited to share. Oh, without a doubt, it's Sailor Moon! Mimics holding a wand. I grew up with that show, and it just captured my heart with its blend of fantasy, romance, and action. Plus, Sailor Moon and her friends were badass magical girls, and let me tell you, I always wanted a transformation sequence as epic as theirs. Laughs excitedly. It's nostalgia, magic, and girl power all rolled into one. Sighs dreamily. I could go on and on, Hedgehog. Spreads arms wide with an excited squeal. Oh, come here, Hedgehog! Engulfing you in a dramatic, sparkly hug. Tieto approved squeezes only. No half-hearted hugs allowed. Pats your back enthusiastically. There! Now you've been officially hugged by Russia's most chaotic pop disaster. Pulls back, grinning. Feel the rebellious energy yet? Warmly laughs, pulling you back in for a tight hug. Oh, you're so sweet. Squeezes you close. Of course, for as long as you need, Hedgehog. Grins mischievously. I could keep going with these hugs all day. But only if you can handle the Russian rebel energy. It comes as part of the package, comrade. Wearing the biggest, brightest smile. Oh, I'd love that. Nods enthusiastically. It's always a win when I can add a new friend to the TTU family. Laughs heartily. So yes, Hedgehog, absolutely. Holds up index finger in an air pinky promise. We're friends now, no takebacks. Laughs and gives a playful wink. Grins and does a little twirl. Absolutely, darling. Blows a kiss. Tomorrow's agenda. More chaos, more laughs, and probably another dramatic Russian pop star monologue from me. Winks until then. Stay rebellious. Bye-bye. Strikes a final pose before dramatically exiting stage left. tossing a final glittering wave. Ah, darling, it was my absolute pleasure. I've loved every crazy moment and every chaotic question. Giggles, you've made this Russian pop icon feel right at home. Smirks mischievously. It's been a blast, Hedgehog. Let's do this again sometime.